So imagine a tech company holding this like massive press event, and they don't just announce the best smartphone ever made. They claim they actually invented the very concept of communication itself.
Oh, wow. Yeah, meaning every other device you've ever owned is essentially just a useless brick.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that level of audacity is right at the core of the sources we are looking at today in our deep dive. We have this really interesting mix.
Yeah, we're looking at Psalm 96, a theological reflection on the book of Romans, and some practical daily quiet time notes from April 13th, 2026.
And they all basically orbit this fiercely unapologetic claim of absolute monotheism. The mission today is unpacking what that actually means for your daily anxieties.
Well, it's intense because the texts don't just say, this is one valid way to view the universe. They explicitly label any other source of devotion as a worthless idol.
Which, in our modern context, a pluralistic view of multiple truths is just much more comfortable, and honestly, it feels a lot more polite.
Totally. That exclusivity is jarring. It demands total allegiance. Which really brings us back to your tech brand analogy. If a text claims a single entity is the sole inventor of the universe, well, it needs overwhelming evidence to back that up.
So what is the evidence? How do these texts defend such a monumental claim to you, the listener?
The argument they present, particularly through that reflection on Romans chapter 1, is that the evidence isn't hidden away in some obscure scroll somewhere.
Right, it's right in front of you.
Exactly. The claim is that divine power is so clearly visible through the physical created world that humanity is actually without excuse. Nature itself is the ultimate, undeniable billboard.
Wow. Yeah, and Psalm 96 visualizes that beautifully. It describes the heavens being glad, the sea roaring, the trees of the forest singing for joy.
It's very vivid.
It really is. It paints a picture of a universe that is just constantly, loudly broadcasting the reality of a single creator. But wait, if the fields and trees are practically screaming this truth, are we really just walking around completely oblivious to it?
Basically, yes. We are intensely distracted.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where those April 2026 notes step in to reframe the whole concept of an idol.
Because we usually picture, ancient people bowing down to wooden statues.
Right.
Which makes it super easy to dismiss today.
Right. But the notes define an idol simply as whatever is competing for your ultimate trust and devotion right now.
So an idol isn't a statue. It's my bank account or my career or just my general obsession with trying to control the future.
Exactly. The text forces you to evaluate your default setting. Like, when you face fear or uncertainty, do you lean on the reality of a sovereign creator? Or do you instinctively grab for those modern idols to make yourself feel secure?
Well, sure, that logic sounds beautiful on a peaceful Sunday morning with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, of course it does.
But if my life is actively falling apart on a Tuesday afternoon, say a medical diagnosis or a sudden job loss, just shifting my perspective to the trees singing outside feels impossible.
It feels like an empty platitude, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So how do these sources suggest someone actually lets go of their need for control in a terrifying real-world crisis?
Well, they suggest attacking the mechanism of fear itself. You see, when a crisis hits, your brain panics because it feels like no one is driving the car.
So you scramble to grab the steering wheel.
Exactly. You rely on your own money, your planning, your idols. But the texts argue that looking at the raw power of the ocean or the immense scale of the cosmos short circuits that panic response.
Because it reminds you that someone infinitely more capable is already driving.
Right. Relying on your own limited control in a crisis isn't just exhausting. The texts argue it is fundamentally illogical if a sovereign creator actually exists.
Wow. So it completely reframes the anxiety. Instead of trying to fix the chaos yourself, you're being asked to trust the architect of the universe to handle it.
Yeah, and the conclusion of Psalm 96 adds a really fascinating layer to that trust. The reason the earth, the fields, and the trees are rejoicing isn't just because God created them.
Wait, really? What else are they cheering for?
The text says they're singing specifically because God is coming to judge the earth with perfect equity and righteousness.
Wow. Which leaves you with a pretty staggering paradox to mull over.
It really does.
Think about it. If a perfectly fair, ultimate judgment is an event that forests and oceans literally cheer for, why do we humans instinctively view the concept of judgment with such dread?
That is definitely something to chew on.
Yeah, something for you to explore on your own. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.